Thank you for joining me today. Um, we are back from the very long break. Thank you. I thank all those who, within this period, put calls through to us and sent us texts and checking on us. Actually, we were very fine, just that we were very busy and there was no space for us to make a new video. Now, due to the series of calls and messages we've received, and some persons that also walked into our office requesting for clarity on this very column, that's the financial aspect of the business summary documents of the Tony Elimelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, we've decided to come up with this video today. Today we shall be dealing with one of the most critical aspects of the Tony Elimelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program's business summary documents in 2022. And that is the financial aspect, and that involves pricing, profitability, and perhaps you can also add the market size. But for the sake of this video, we are dealing with the pricing and the profitability. I'm actually joining pricing to profitability because there's no how you can calculate the profitability without pricing. It's not possible. That is why I decided to join these two together today. Now, without wasting time, let's go straight to pricing first. I had wished to share my screen with you today, but for some reasons I will not. I will try as much as I can to read from the templates while I explain to you what you need to do. I will read from the templates on my screen here, then I explain to you what you need to do. I will try as much as I can to see if I can get the screenshots of the templates and put it on this screen so that you can also see. But if I cannot do that, then you have to fall back to the templates on your device. You look at it while you watch this video for better understanding. Let's go. Pricing. Let me read from the template. What is the average price of your product or service in US dollar and in local currency? What is the average price? Now, I have received several businesses and business summary documents from several entrepreneurs asking me to review. Now, I have discovered that some persons did not understand the meaning of average, because if you have a list of 5 products and 5 of them have different prices, you are not expected to write all of them. Pick one, or you find the average of these 5 and you put it. You need just a price, just a value. You need just one, because it is that one that we use in calculating the profitability. So if you put 3 different prices, that means you are expected to calculate 3 different profitability, which is not possible. So what you should do, find the average of this product, find the average price of this service, and you put it there. Simple. The average price of my product is, you put it there. The average price of this is this, you live with. Perhaps they put maximum 20 words, so you don't expect to explain anything. But while you're putting it, remember to put it in dollar and in your local currency. That's one. The other part of that pricing is, if you have not determined the price yet, talk about what you will consider in deciding the price of your business offering. If you have not determined the price yet, talk about what you will consider in deciding the price of your business offering. In this case, what the foundation mean is, perhaps you are into let me put it, a dry cleaning business or a laundry business. Let me use that word. You wash, you iron, and perhaps you do pick up and delivery, or as the case may be. But the foundation, some persons who are just coming into the business, or you just have an idea, you're just nurturing the idea and you've not started yet, perhaps you might be confused on what you should make as a specific price. So what are the things you will consider if this is the case? You will consider the volume of the clothes they bring, the texture of the fabrics, perhaps, or you also add the level of stain, on the clothes. So if you don't have a specific price, Perhaps you cannot give a specific price because the stain on cloth A might be different from the stain on cloth B. You now put it in description. We shall consider the level of stain. If the stain is considerable, we will put the price at. You have to add a value. You must add a value. Irrespective of the circumstance, there must be a value, because without that value, you cannot calculate the profitability. I just hope you understand that. If you don't understand, listen to it again. Now, let's quickly look at profitability. And as well, you will also permit me to read from the templates. Profitability. How will you make profits? Tell us how many users you expect to sell to in a year. Let me stop there for the moment. I have told you earlier before now that the secret to winning the Tonel Miller Foundation Entrepreneurship Program is paying attention to details. Ensure you pay attention to details and answer all questions. They put forward a question, how will you make profits? And you cannot make profits without generating revenue. So invariably, what they want to get from you, how do you get money? How do you make a revenue? Now, perhaps, let me use myself as an example this time around. I am a poultry farmer. How will I make profit? I make profit from the sales of eggs. I also make profit from the sales of chicken. Now, okay, if I do specifically umbrella, I can put it and make profit from the sales of chicken. I have taken an average price of my products. I have taken an average price. So the next thing is, tell us how many users do you expect to sell to in a year? I make profit from the sales of chicken, and I expect to sell to 10,000 persons a year. That's one. But there is another part that you need to consider, which is if your business earns revenue by usage instead of by user or customer, indicate the level of usage you expect. I think this is the part that is causing confusion, and I will clear it now. Some businesses does not actually have to deal with how many number of persons buy from you or how many number of customers do you have. It actually deals with how many times did these persons use this service. For example, a telecommunication company. For example, Facebook. Let me use Facebook particularly. Facebook does not generate money from how many users are on Facebook. No. How many times do you log in? So perhaps if Facebook is generating $1 each time you log into Facebook and they're generating $1, for example, it means even if it is only you, if you log in 5 times, they're generating $5. So if they have 10 persons and these 10 persons log in three times each, that means they've generated $30. So you cannot calculate their revenue by only 10 persons. You are calculating by revenue by the number of times these persons logged in a year. So if these persons, perhaps they can have 10 persons as well, and these 10 persons did not log in a year, that means they don't generate money. You can just create an account with Facebook and go, and you don't log in, you don't visit Facebook. Facebook will not make money. But it is when you make use of it, the usage, that generates money. So if your business falls within this category where you did not actually count on the number of customers, but you count on how many times the customer patronizes you, visits your shop, or do a particular thing, then you are not calculating the number of customers at that moment. You are calculating how many times they do that. Now let me explain what they mean to you. How did you make profit? You make profit by, let me put it this way, you make profit by transaction. Let me use a fintech company, or perhaps you are a payment gateway. You use payment gateway. You are a payment gateway, and each time persons make transfer, that's when you make money. Each time persons make transfer, that's how you make money. Perhaps you have 5% of any money, anything time I buy things online through your payments gateway, you have 5% of the amount. And the 5%, you've put the average of that 5% to be $10. That's it. That's a pricing. That each time person buys something through you, the average price, that's your average price, is $10. You've put it in the pricing already. So now, how will you make money, or how will you make profit? You make profit from usage. Each time somebody buys something from you or buy something online through your gateway, you make money. And it is believed that the average money you make per transaction is $10 because you've indicated that in the pricing. Now, tell us how many users you expect to settle in a year. Because you are using a payment gateway, that question is not for you. That's why they put if your business, that's if your business does not deal with user, and if your business earns revenue by usage, then indicate the level of usage you expect. So how many times do you expect people to make use of that your payment gateway in a year? So perhaps just a person can perhaps make use of it 4 times a day. Now actually multiplying it on an average, by estimation, you are multiplying it by 365 days. So now, how many times do you expect people to make use of your gateway? So how many times do you expect people, irrespective of the number of customers, how many times do you expect that people, your customers, will buy or will make transaction using your payment gateway in a year? So if it is you're expecting 100, I'm actually using these values so that it will be easy for us to calculate. You're expecting 100, irrespective of the number of customers, we are just expecting that they make use of payments gateway 100 times in a year. So how you generate revenue is now $10 per transaction times the 100 times they use in a year. So actually in a year you're expecting to have a revenue of $1,000. Hope you understand what I'm saying. So the number of the amount of usage, that's the level of usage, which is 100 times, you multiply that by the amount, the average price for one user, and for one usage, which is 10. When you multiply it, it gives you $1,000. On the other hand, if I am selling, if it deals with customer, the number of customers that come, perhaps it actually deals with customer and not the level of usage. What I am now dealing with is how many customers will I get? How many customers? Perhaps it deals with subscription. Let me use YouTube. If I was actually okay, let me use YouTube, and they are paying me, I get money per subscriber. If I'm getting money, I will not use per viewer. I'm getting money per subscriber. If 1,000 persons subscribe, and that means I will get $1,000 because $1 per 1,000, assuming. So now they're asking you how many customers will you get a year? So how many subscribers will I have in a year? I'm estimating to, okay, I will have 5,000 subscribers in a year. By 5,000 subscribers in a year, if the average price of my per subscriber is $1, that means I have $5,000 a year. That's my revenue. That is the revenue. If you don't understand, make use of the comment section. I will explain further. Or you can contact me. My number will be displayed at the end of this or in the description of this video. Contact Sanka Empire. If I'm not privileged to reply you, our team will reply you. Now, when that is done, the next question for you is your cost. Give a summary of your cost of operations. You are not expected to write a particular or to break it down. You are summarizing. There's a summary. You don't expect cost of operations involves salary, rent, perhaps if you are a media company, you can add data, add several things, fueling and others. But you are not expected to write them. You can just put cost of operation. You put a summary of it. Perhaps your cost of operation can be 10,000, your cost of operation can be 1,000, your cost of... How do you expect? You must be very calculative and sensitive while you're doing this calculation so that you can get a very good figure at the end. You must be very calculative and sensitive. So what's your cost of operation? Cost of operations does not involve the money used in buying land. It just involves overhead cost. What the day-to-day expenses you make. So if I am actually operating a salon, then I will buy fuel, I will pay salaries, I will perhaps pay rent and all that. These are cost of operations in a year. These are what we do every year. So you put it in estimation, how much would that cost me a year? You put it there, and the revenue you generate must be greater, that must be higher than your cost of operation, because for you to get profit, which you can either call the net sales, you have to subtract the cost of operation from the revenue. What is left is your profit. This is simple mathematics, very simple mathematics. So you don't need to be worried, I don't need to bother myself about that. So once you get the cost of operation, the next thing you should consider is your profit. Okay, this is how much I generate in a year, this is my cost of operation, you subtract it, you get profit. You now come back to how you calculate your profit margin. That's the next thing we talk about. How do you calculate your profit margin? I will make a recap on this very profitability in this very video at the end. After I've talked about how you calculate your profit margin, I will just make a recap so that you understand what I'm saying. How do you calculate your profit margin? Profit margin has a very simple formula. Profit margin equals, I think that should be on the screen. Profit margin equals profit divided by the revenue multiplied by 100. Profit over revenue multiplied by 100. So if your profit is $100 and your profit is $100 and your total revenue is perhaps $500, then you are now multiplying 100 times $100. That's $100. The profit times 100 divided by the 500, which is your revenue. So 100 by 100 should be, I think that should be 10,000. 10,000. 100 by 100, 10,000. You divide by 500. That's profit margin. I will not talk about the range of that profit margin in this video, but you just have to be sensitive about your calculation. As I promised, let me make a recap of the profitability. By profitability, you are expected to indicate how you make money. I have explained how you do what you need to do. How you make money. Okay, I make money from this. What are the things you do? Did you sell? Did you make money from usage? How you make money? This is how I make my money. And I expect so number of persons to buy from me if I sell. Or I expect to sell so quantity of goods. Perhaps I can say, if I make money, if the price of 1 unit of my product is $1, I am expecting to sell 1,000 units of that product in a year, which is $1,000. So that is the total revenue you have. So what's your cost of operation? You put it there, you subtract it, you get the profit, then you calculate the profit margin. It's as simple as that. Again, if you don't understand, you can feel free to contact me. Now, I did not share my screen, because if I share my screen, everybody will use the same formats. And once you start using this same formats, they may just use the same format and edit the values. When you start using the same format, you are sabotaging the process. I will just advise you don't even use the words I have used, because so many persons will watch this video. And once they watch this video and they use the same format, you are sabotaging your chances. Just get the idea and do something else. The final thing I will talk about is some entrepreneurs who does not have logo. I'm not saying logo is compulsory. No, logo is not compulsory. But if you feel you need to get logo for your business, they just use the light. If you feel you need to get logo for your business, there is a link to a Telegram group in the description of this video. Join that group. You will learn how to make your logo with your phone free of charge. I think 1 week free of charge training on how to make logo, how to design your logo just with your phone. Not just logo, flyers, birthday cards and ID cards, all that with your phone, free of charge. You check on the description of this video, you will see the link to the Telegram group. I would have added the link to a WhatsApp group, but I'm believing that it will be filled up. Check there, you will see the link to the Telegram group. It's just learning graphics with your own phone for 5 days. For 5 days, and it is free. Thank you and good luck.